Here we are at Disability Adventures headquarters, and we're about to change out some bike tires. So these are Racing Ralphs, and I've had them many years. I think we did Belize with these tires and Africa, and so this has kind of been my race bike, and I have a hardtail that I use day to day. But these are pretty much worn out, the treads, and they have lots of punctures in them. So I got these new Maxxis ones. They are a little more rugged, a little more puncture resistant, a little bit more gnarly tread, which is going to add a little bit of weight, but I think I'm not going to be dealing with so many like little leaks and stuff. So let me show you this. Look at this tire really close up. As I turn it, you can see the, I need to get the shadow off of it. You'll see like little pieces of, see the dark? What this is stands leaking out of my tire. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. So I have all these little wet spots. So this tire has had enough. Treads on getting pretty low. I'm mostly worried that all of these little leaks are gonna cause me to have trouble during the race. And so, so I'm just gonna pop these off, even though they're still working. I could go ride right now. I think I'm gonna pop them off and put these new ones on there, and that way I am going into this race rock solid. Another thing that I've noticed, when you go to pop a tire off the rim that's been here a really long time, it's actually really easy. You can just pop it off with your fingers basically. You almost don't even need the tools. But when you go to put on a new tire, the bead is a lot tighter, so you really have to wrestle with it to get it on. So I think over time the tire stretches out, which makes it more likely to burp. Like if you go around a corner with tubeless tires and the tire kind of pops off the rim, makes it a little bit easier if the tires are years old and worn out. So, all right, so let's see how this is done. So I usually put it on a trash can, makes it a little bit easier to get to. And sure enough, I was able to just pull the bead with my fingers, and then with the wrench, and I didn't have to force it at all. Like the stands is gone. It's got a little bit of wetness in there. That's the difference, is that it is absolutely really, really tight now. Okay, there we go. All right, wasn't so bad. Okay, that is 160 PSI, and it's connected to the tire. Let's see if it pops the tube. Nope. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. It did it. Yep. Should pop. There you go. That was the tire seating itself. I love it when that happens perfectly on the first try. So what that did, that now popped the tubeless tire into the rim, where it's like it's like a bead that pops in place. So now I'm going to deflate it, and I'm going to add some of the stop leak stuff, and I should be good to go on the back tire. So I was getting ready to put the back tire on, and I figured probably should check the brake pads one more time. Whenever you go into an expedition, you don't want to take any chances, right? Brake pads are cheap and they're easy to repair or fix. And so I don't want to go into a race with like worn out pads. So let me show you what I found. They're not terrible. So I might be able to see, get the light off of this. You can kind of see the thickness. But look at the difference in thickness. Let me see if I can get it down here. There. Look at the difference in thickness between the new pad and the old pad. So it's one of those, we're going to be out there for 4 days, running around up and down mountains with a lot of bombing some hills. And so I'm going to go ahead and just put some of these on there. They're like 15 bucks, and better safe than sorry. On replacing the brake pads, just in case anybody's interested, I always pull that little pin or loosen that a little bit, which don't hit this when you're messing with your brake pads, but it would allow it to go further to the handlebar. So what that does, that gives room for the new pad back here. So then now once I'm in here, I leave the old pad in, and I take like a little, kind of like a little wedgie thing, go in here, and I'm twisting like this, because what I want to do is widen those pads, and so that way it opens the caliper. So what it does, it frees up room so I can put the new pads on, and I can still get the disc up in there. So now I don't know if you can see it. Now let me turn on my light. But Now you can see that it's a lot wider than it was before when we looked at it just a second ago. So now all I got to do is just pull off that little cotter pin, pop the pads out, put the new pads in, new cotter pin, and then there should be enough room for the disc to slide back up in there, and I am good to go on the brake pads. So now you can really see the difference between the brake pads. So obviously, especially this one right here in the center of the screen, that one is really low. Like, I don't think it would have made it through the expedition. So it's one of them. You got to check out every component on your bike or have a bike shop do it so that nothing can fail going into a big race. Tire is back on. Discs fit into the brake pads, no problem. I made sure to keep my fingers off the brake pads so it didn't make them slippery. So next up, oops, just fell out here. Next up, you have to take out the valve core before you can stick in the, see, I'm gonna use this stuff. It's called orange seal. And so I gotta get this stuff inside the tire. But what I did is I bought these on Amazon. These are, you know, the little caps here, but they have like a little cutout. So you can use that to go on here and take off the valve core or tighten up the valve core, because some pumps attach to the valve core, and then when you undo the pump, it takes this off your tire and lets all the air out. So these are kind of hard to find in your bike kit sometimes, so I just got these little caps, and so that way I can make sure my valve core is tight before messing with it. Okay, so what I did on this bottle, I marked it, because basically I'm going to put in about 2 ounces into each tire, and this is an 8-ounce bottle, so I divided it up into 4 equal parts, and that way when I flip it upside down and dump it in, I can kind of watch the level and make sure I put in just about 2 ounces. Now this tube here is going to fit right on top of that when I put it in there. Okay, it's kind of hard to see the level in the bottle, so I just put the headlamp on there, and now I can kind of squeeze it, and I can kind of watch the level go down to the next line where I want it. There you go, it looks good to me. All right. All right, so now I'm ready to pump it up.